going Maya for a little bit there.
I mean, they basically have the same voice.
Okay.
I like how it's there now.
Yeah, can't do anything with it.
Well, the Magaton was gone.
Yeah. What exactly were you up to? Up to? Now there's a nasty accusation.
We were just doing what anybody does on that evening.
Watching TV.
Just having a meal and getting ready for the night. We weren't doing nothing wrong or up to anything, as you put it.
I'm looking for anything that's obvious.
I never would have left it if it weren't for hearing the people outside.
I don't see anything strange yet. I'd better keep looking. Oh, it's going to just tell me, isn't it?
Probably. Thought they heard the weird people out of the house.
Why are you Welsh?
Boyle.
What was so weird about that? We don't get many people in our area. It's so off the beaten path that it always startles me when there are visitors. The one voice, let alone two, I don't know.
It's enough to perk me interests. You know who me neighbor is, so I get a bit on edge when strange folks are poking about.
That's all it was, really.
Just me being cautious.
And that's why I went outside to see who they were.
His eyes are moving back and forth.
That's an interesting way to say it. You heard them by the bush?
Did indeed!
Oh,
fuck it.
Nah, just combination.
Yeah.
We
Their
fusion.
voices are burned into me memory, since it was about all I could tell of them.
Would you say either of their voices was distinct?
Aye, I could tell them apart, rather too well. Couldn't put my finger on it at the time. But something about those two chaps meeting by that bush just set off alarms for me.
Ah.
There it is. There's his tick. It's moving his eyes back and forth.
Yep, that was it. That was his nervous twitch. Now I just have to show him the bracelet and find it.
Show him the bracelet?
Show him the bracelet. His eyes are moving there too. No, that's the same one, wasn't it?
No. That's the same. That's the right one. That's kind of confusing.
Yeah?
Go up to his eye. What? Oh, okay.
Oh god. So now we have to choose which...
I guess that'll probably work.
I mean, he's shifting his eyes all throughout. Oh, that was a weird...
Gotcha!
Okay. But he's... What?
Well, wait. Look at his... Stay on his eyes. Let's see if it stops. Let's see if it changes.
It's weird.
Heard two people. His eyes stopped.
Mr. Hood, throughout your whole testimony, your eyes have been darting back and forth. It almost seemed like you weren't sure. Did I?
Well, me lass, you can't ever be 100% certain. It was mighty dark, it was. I could barely see me hand in front of me face.
That's funny. There was one point where your eyes weren't shifty. When you mentioned the two men.
Aye?
When you said that, you looked directly at the defense bench. Right at me.
Aye, suppose I was. Didn't even notice until you pointed it out.
I don't see what it means.
Why do you think I'd be staring at you? It doesn't mean nothing.
I think it does. You were reconsidering something. You were staring because... Oh god. I remind you of somebody. You're a creepo. I remind you of somebody. That's obvious, right?
No, you're a creep.
You're a creep. You're a weirdo. You saw me and had to stop to think because I reminded you of the people you saw.
I can't remember how the freaking. I can't remember what the chorus goes. How the chorus goes. Now you fucked me up.
You reminded me? How so? Well, because I'm a girl.
Ah, you are!
Didn't I say they were both men? That's right. But what if one wasn't?
That sounds a little silly now, doesn't it?
How could I confuse a grown man for a teenage girl? You said it was dark, so dark you could barely see in front of you. The rest of your testimony focuses on the sounds you heard. And if I couldn't see so well, how would I know who it was? By her voice, of course. Even if you couldn't see them, you could hear them. You weren't sure you really saw two men and had to reassure yourself by looking over at me.
Think so, do ye? What makes you so sure it were a woman's voice I heard?
This psychedelic background needs to stop for a second.
Fighting frickin', My brain just isn't working today. It's the Earthbound Gigas. Jesus Christ!
Well, it's a 50-50 shot. And I can't think of any other reason you'd be staring at me while talking about her.
So sure, are ye? But yes, you're right.
It's 50-50, isn't it? Okay, come on.
Maybe you're correct. Miss Trucy, I'll entertain you on that.
Thank you. I went on for way too long. I'd say I can tell a man's voice from a girl's, but perhaps not.
When you get down to it, it doesn't change a thing. Not sure I 100% agree with your police work there, Mr. Hood. Aye? If one person was a woman, it changes a lot. You know what? I think so too. I like your daughter's theory that it was a woman. I'll change my statement to that.
You don't believe they were both men? Could be. Might not have been. I couldn't say just based on a voice I briefly overheard a month ago.
Miss Trucy did notice me eyes wandering. Could be I thought of it subconsciously. But, well, we'll say it were a woman, alright? Alright?
I'm not afraid to take that chance. Let's just see where her idea leads, shall we?
Thank you, Trucy. I'll take it from here.
Glad to help.
You're infinitely more useful than mine. Infinitely. Infinitely.
And the daughter and some people talking out in the woods and thought it was odd. I went to check. I had two people next to a bush.
Well, that's the new thing, so press that.
Man and a woman. Yeah, I know.
Did you recognize either of them? Nay!
Thought I said that. The man? No. The woman? Don't rightfully know.
Never seen either before, eh?
Not that I could see well anyway. We can assume who both were, the killer and victim.
Killer and victim? Aha! Got you, Mr. Hood!
Gotcha!
Got you, Robin Hood. Well, I mean, Yossarian. He's not a woman.
He's definitely a woman. He's packing sun.
It has to be either Yossarian or Guildenstern, because neither of them is a woman. You know the thing about the suspect and the victim? They were both men.
It would seem so.
Yet you just labeled one of them as female. Something's not lining up.
Ah, I see.
That's a contradiction right there, it is. It was frozen.
Oh.
That creepy grin, it has to be him saying, "You've just activated my trap card."
Really? Really?
Now remember, me memories aren't so clear.
Phoenix wouldn't know what Yu-Gi-Oh is.
But Miss Trucy says one suspect might have been a woman.
And she's right. 50% chance. If we do believe one was a woman...
We'd have to assume the man of the two were the victim, aye?
Only logical. The man was the one found buried. So yes.
I lost this voice completely.
Yeah.
Aye, and who does that leave us?
The killer. The defendant is not a woman, not even close.
Did you just assume my gender?
No, he isn't, is he? Look at it like that, and must be someone else. As I recall, the police think the same. The police think the same person killed the two people.
Come to
Why was
Jamaica!
The two bodies were hidden together. Not definitive, but it makes sense. Too much coincidence otherwise.
Yugi boy.
Yugi boy.
Aye, he must be someone who knew about both murders.
Yes, that would make sense.
I told him that in his house. He's using what I told him to make this argument.
So let's work backwards, aye? Aye.
I.
Do-do.
Instead of asking who knew about Guildenstern, I'm going full Pegasus, fuck it.
We should look into anybody who might be linked to your Rosencrantz.
Seems to me someone with him must be the one, Yugi boy.
Both murders,
Phoenix
really?
Wolverine.
We're doing... Let's not bring her back, please. Both murders, Rosencrantz. Oh no.
See it, do ye?
Who's a woman involved with the Rosencrantz murder then? Only one.
Miss Porter didn't kill anyone.
She did lie about the crime. Couldn't she be covering for herself?
Seems suspicious to me, Your Honor. I know me neighbor and Mr. Jameson aren't female.
You're just accusing her because she's a woman? That makes no sense.
Not because she's a woman, Mr. Wright. Because she's a woman who witnessed and lied about Mr. Jameson's death.
If you can pull out another lass who's around for that, I'll concede.
But there wasn't. She's the only one. Then it must be her.
You're the one who said I saw a woman. I'm just following the logical path. If you back down now and decide if we're a man after all, I'll stop going for Miss Porter.
Stop this at once. The prosecution's case is against the defendant and no one else.
Aye, it could still be him.
It doesn't matter to me who we choose to pursue. So, Mr. Right boy.
What do you say? Did I or didn't I hear two men?
Oh no.
If I say no, he keeps going for Miss Porter. I know she didn't do it.
Save it.
But if I say yes, then Miss Porter is clear. But Mr. Yossarian is the only suspect. I'm back where I started, and Francisca won't let Mr. Hood continue after this. There's only one way for me to avoid a dead end is to play along. I fucked that all up. Well, Mr. Hood, I'm inclined to say no.
My computer's starting to rev. What?
You know I won't tell you... I won't let you end the trial yet. I have to prevent it somehow.
You could save yourself a whole lot of trouble.
Just say either's the killer and it's over.
Not gonna happen.
Then I'm not up either.
You! How dare you! Your Honor, silence him this instant! You have a whip. Overruled, the witness may speak. We have a new suspect in addition to our first. A suspicious woman with Guildenstern complicates everything. Especially after how Miss Porter led us on the other day. Nerd.
Everything I told him's coming back. He's using it all against me.
Think about that. It might actually work in your favor. You might be planning this all on the fly.
He's done a pretty good job if he's just improvising.
So far, but you don't believe Miss Porter's the killer, do you? Not after what she told us in the detention center.
There's no way it was her.
Then maybe you finally have somebody worth defending. You have to keep pressing this man until he folds. He's trying to get her for some reason.
Somebody to defend. I can work with that. She's not here to see it, but I won't ignore this accusation. I can't. Your Honor, it couldn't be Gladys Porter.
Stubborn boy.
Okay.
Don't let Miss Porter distract you from reaching the real goal. You're not in this for her.
Kinda, yeah, I am. I'll defend whoever needs defending. Right now, that's her. You say Miss Porter had to kill Black and Jameson? Well, she lacks something very important for both, a motive. The running theory is that both incidents are connected to the Ravala's family. A good deal of evidence so far seems to indicate that's true. Personally, I'm inclined to agree with the prosecution on that much.
I see, but how does that concern Gladys Porter?
She would never side with the Ravala's family, not even if her life depended on it. The hit list.
Yeah.
They were responsible for her sister's death. She's devoted to stopping them.
Another vigilante. Don't we have enough of those already? Are you certain of this?
Ask Detective Waters. Her sister happened to be his late wife.
His sister happened to be his late wife.
No.
Ha, take that, Finnegan Hood, you fool. The killer couldn't possibly be her. It was the suspect. I'm the fool, am I?
At least I'm not relying on circumstantial motive to support myself. Is there really solid proof of this being the Ravala's clan?
We have a calling card and a letter. Oh, and I suppose they were found beside the victim. Did the family admit to it all? Forgive me if I'm wrong, and please do correct me. No. Of course not. They'd only put the card out for a public murder.
And the way the body was buried, you know the killer would wanted to hide it. I'm no betting man, but I'd wager good money the card was found with me neighbor.
Yes, they were in his home. Ah, then no one can definitely say they were the culprits.
You'll have to do better than that, ma'am.
No one could say Miss Porter didn't have a motive, can they?
What about the shovel? We don't have her fingerprints. How would she get that?
Oh my god. Well, oh.
Well now, I don't believe you'd be asking that if you had anybody's prints besides the suspects. Tell me now, do ye?
No, just his. Is your computer okay?
Yes.
Then you could use that exact same argument for any possible killer who isn't me neighbor. If you assume he's innocent, somebody must have broken into his home, stole his shovel, and planted it.
Why, to frame him, I presume.
Committing perjury during his trial? Sounds like a grudge, yes sir.
You're so confident just because you might have seen a woman?
It weren't me who thought up the idea. We've got two suspects, lad. Me neighbor and Porter. Somebody's a murderer.
Somebody has to answer for it all. Any accusation warrants looking into. Can you back this up apart from mere speculation?
If you want me to extrapolate, I'd gladly oblige.
Oh my god. Can we just end?
Francisco
Good
wants
Lord.
Mr. Yossarian to be guilty.
It's gone on for so long.
Yeah. Hood's aiming for an entirely different person. I'm trying to hurry through, and I'm
No, it's
defending
fine.
them both. Are all the cards on the table yet? Okay, here we can end it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want your computer to
figure out-
explode.
We'll figure out his mere speculation next time.